What's up guys, it's Nap here. So over the last few days I've spent some time doing Bounty Hunter, and after about 16 hours I did manage to get a tier 10 emblem. Now that's worth 40,000 Bounty Hunter points, and I am going to be buying a large rune pouch, which is an ammo slot item that can store up to 16,000 of 3 types of runes, which cost 4,000 Bounty Hunter points, and 9 Ancient Warriors equipment patches, which upgrades the Ancient Warrior equipments you get from Revenants from tier 78 gear to tier 88 gear, and also makes it augmentable. So considering I got 11 pieces of tier 78 gear from Revenants, I'm going to be upgrading everything I got apart from one Morrigan's top and the Morrigan's javelins I got. You do need to have 100 of the javelins to actually upgrade it to tier 88. So the main item I'm going to be upgrading and looking forward to using is the Vesta's longsword. I will need to get an offhand to work with it, but regardless it's going to be a really good tier 88 weapon. And I'm also going to have the Vesta's chain body and the Stadius forehelm to use with it, so I'm going to have a pretty good melee set. I do plan on using it at Vindicta pretty soon. And the large rune pouch is all around useful for storing runes in it for things like Slayer, just to put your alch runes in, or if you are casting spells or using magic at PVM, you don't have to use multiple slots in your inventory for it, and therefore you can bring more supplies. Now getting this emblem up to tier 10 was not a simple process, so what I wanted to do was just share the information I did gather from my time in the Bounty Hunter world, so other Ironmen can do this as efficiently as possible if they do want to upgrade non-corrupted Ancient Warrior equipment they've gotten from Revenants and get a rune pouch as well. So more in depth into the method, first off you need to be in world 106. The other Bounty Hunter world is world 97, and it's a legacy only Bounty Hunter world. Now it does actually have a small PvP community, and considering Ironmen don't actually want to participate in PvP, it's best to avoid that world entirely. So essentially what you want to do is wait till you get a target, and at that point, to decide who's going to be the winner, the person that gets to kill their target, you have to verse them in rock, paper, scissors. So it does look rather strange if you don't understand what it actually is, but essentially you just go up to them, offer to rock, paper, scissors. 9 out of 10 times they'll say yes. You then offer to duel them. Once they accept it, at the end of the countdown, you just choose rock, paper, or scissors. So based on the outcome of who wins that rock, paper, scissors, the winner will equip their gear and also grab their emblem, if they have one, and then go into the wilderness, whilst the loser will bank all their gear, sometimes just keeping one item on them, and go into the wilderness and let themselves die. Now, if you don't have an emblem at all, just go into the wilderness and you have a chance at getting one, whilst if you've got an emblem, be sure it is in your inventory. If it isn't, it doesn't have a chance to upgrade and you may just get another one, which isn't bad, but it doesn't help progress your existing one. Now, when you kill a player with an emblem in your inventory, it has a chance to upgrade, but the chance is impacted by a number of variables. So the first variable is if they are your target or not. You can get emblem upgrades off of rogue kills, which is just killing anyone in the wilderness, although it's significantly less likely, and I never experienced that actually happening. I don't advise doing rogue killing at all, so I do advise just waiting for a target and killing them through the rock, paper, scissors method. The next variable which affects the chance of an emblem upgrading is the amount of value your character is risking. I personally spent hours not getting an emblem at all, and at this point I was only wearing one item just because I felt as an Ironman I didn't want to risk anything when killing my targets, until other Ironmen doing the same method as me actually advised me to risk more. So at this point I started risking full bandos with a Saradomin sword, having a risk of around 8 million GP, and this did the trick. Now at higher tiers of emblems, when upgrading became less frequent, I started bringing in a lot more noted items in my inventory to increase my risk further. The most risk I had was around 83 mil, which I did from tier 6 emblem and up. Now risking so much isn't required, and it's only advised if you are a higher level who feels comfortable not actually getting PK'd, because there's always the chance there will be someone there who actually tries to kill you. The next variable which impacts the chance of upgrading an emblem is your rating versus your target's rating. Essentially the matchmaker will try pair you up with a person with the closest rating to you possible, but due to the lack of people in Bounty Hunter worlds, you can often be matched up with people whose rating is far beyond yours. Now this can both have a negative and positive impact. Your emblem has a much better chance of upgrading if the enemy you are killing has a higher rating than yours, and has an opposite effect being a lot less likely if they are a much lower rating than you. So if you're lucky and find another person upgrading emblems as well who has a similar rating to you, you can essentially just take turns at dying to each other, remaining at similar ratings because you're both losing and gaining rating at the same time. Now just a note, with the rock paper scissors method, usually you only do that with the person once, and that person who wins goes first, but then you just simply take turns at killing each other, so you both have equal opportunity at upgrading your emblems. And the final factor that seemed to influence the chance of an emblem upgrading is the enemy fighting back and healing. Now I upgraded my emblem plenty of times on people who weren't doing either of those, but I personally was stuck at tier 9 for quite some time, and the thing that actually broke that dry streak was someone using a weapon, I believe it was a wilderness sword, which they were protecting with prayer and then eating a few times before they would die. I also had multiple other people claim this helped them as well when upgrading their emblems. Now, unfortunately, this isn't something you can fully control, and some randoms may not be cooperative enough to do this for you, but if you are talking to the other people who you're being matched up with, or they're even your friends, I do advise trying to do this, because it seems to have a positive impact on increasing the chance of an emblem upgrade. Now, there isn't much information at all provided by Jagex about Bounty Hunter, so if you've experienced different things to what I've discussed, I'd love to hear it, and feel free to post it in the comments, as my main focus was to simply raise awareness to other Ironmen about this method of acquiring some decent gear if you've done some revenants and want to upgrade your tier 78 gear, and the rune pouch as well is pretty useful, and considering this method does take people usually between 10 to 20 hours depending on your luck, you definitely want to be doing it as efficiently as possible so you're not wasting your time. Now I know this sort of method's going to be a pretty sensitive topic for some people, and I agree it shouldn't really exist in its current form. But the reality is it does, and it isn't against the rules, so if you've already put in the time to get tier 78 gear from Revenants, I don't see why you wouldn't want to upgrade it to even better gear if there's an available option. So that's pretty much for this one. If you've experienced something different at Bounty Hunter, feel free to put it in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.